Alright, so here's the behind the scenes kind of look of the basics of what it took me to make up for 3 or 4 seconds of driving in this creek. Cost me 6 or 8 hours in the garage the next day, so no, not worth it. But it's what I do. I have sin syndrome. It makes me do bad choices sometimes. But you know, there's no glory in driving at home, right? Grandma RZR. You know what I mean, though. Comment sin syndrome, if you can relate. And to my hateful 8 subscribers, thank you guys. And hopefully we grow from here. But thanks a lot. Enjoy the video. Hope you like it. And I happened to just bump this sending unit, and it spins inside there. So I was like, that's not sealed good. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching the channel. Appreciate it. We hydrolocked the Cfmoto. It just kind of happened quickly. The water was deep. There was no backing out. I mean, I probably could have, but you know, send that or whatever. But it did. The water did come up. You can't really see about right here. The water came up, so about half the intake. So it did suck some in. I shut it off like about the same time it got there, so I don't know if it's shut off or if I shut it off. But anyway, this is what to do if you're ever stupid or you get sin syndrome and you end up with a hydrolock motor. I pulled the plugs out. One plug, you gotta get in there. I don't know if you can see it in there. That wire right there is the plug wire. The plug goes in right there. I didn't put the wire back on it. And then the other one you can get to up here in the bed. Same thing. I pulled the plugs out, cycled the motor over, blew all the water out, or a lot of water out. I sprayed some WD-40 into the cylinders. I drained it out. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. There was already a bunch of used oil in there, but the oil that came out was like yoo-hoo. It was white as could be, full of water. A lot of it was just clear water. Yeah, it was crazy. It was just, the ride was fun. We was doing a lot of climbing, and you know, I just made a mistake in a little creek that was deep. That's all part of it, right? I mean, it was a good time. The water was ice cold. It was like 70 degrees yesterday, but that water was probably just above freezing, maybe 40 degrees. A couple other things I'm gonna do. I noticed a lot of the crawling I do, I'm hitting a lot. I may have bent that A arm a bit. I don't know if I did or not. No, this one's the same way. So no bent A arms, but I'm definitely hitting a lot. I'm hitting hard, so I'm going to probably do the 2-inch lift for the shock mounts, and then probably a 2-inch wheel spacer. And they say you can get, I've seen them with 30s on. A lot of guys will cut just the bottom of this kind of fender right here to run the 30s so they don't rub. But these are 26s. So a 28 would be a pretty good upgrade. I'd really like to get 30s. But I might just go with a 28 in this lift. And then maybe portals down the road. That's what I think. I don't know. But hopefully we can get it started. After we get all that oil out, we're going to spray some WD-40 down the fill tube. Like I said, we sprayed some WD-40 in the cylinder heads. We'll change the air filter. We'll change the oil filter a couple of times. We'll see how she goes. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to try to do it with one hand while I video, because I'm just going to do it and then I'll get back to you guys. Thanks for watching. Smash that sub button. Let's get it. Okay, so the hydro lock problem is bigger than I thought. We drained all the oil, changed that, took the air filter out. It was soaked, there was a bunch of water in there. The whole muffler, the whole exhaust system we took off, it was full of water, clear full of water. The header pipe there on the backside under the O2 sensor was full of water. We took the O2 sensor out, took the whole header off, the whole exhaust off, dumped all the water out of everything, sprayed WD-40 into everything, took the spark plugs out, cycled it, put new spark plugs in. Still won't start. We took the belt vent, took that plug off, water just poured out of it. The belt has a drain on the bottom. We took that off, water poured out of it. I mean, just everything possible that you could think of that would be full of water was full of water. Everything. And I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't start. But I think maybe I just did. So I popped this hose here. This is the injector. Runs in right there. And here, runs in. That's fuel injection hose. This, I don't know how good you can see that, but that's the gas that came out of it. And I wiped this container clean. And I did it like 3 or 4 times. All that on the bottom is water. And the whole thing is like this not gas color. It doesn't even, like you can, it doesn't even smell that strong of gas. And I noticed, because when I was riding yesterday, I noticed that I was like, we didn't even ride that far. I only lost 2 bars of fuel. Well, today, I only lost 1 bar of fuel. So, fuel system must have been compromised as well. Well, obviously it is. So we're gonna drain all the gas out of it. Figure out if we can just pull the tank, or if it's easier, we can just pop a line off, drain it all out. Go get some high tests and a little fuel treatment and hope for the best. So yeah, it looks like a pain in the butt to get all this out. So we'll go ahead and get started ripping that apart. And like I said, we've took this whole machine apart pretty much. The plugs out of it, the filter out of it, we've got the fuel lines off now. We drained every compartment. Hydrolock sucks, don't do it. Hopefully we'll get her going. So, back at it. And I happened to just bump this sending unit, and it spins inside there. So I was like, that's not sealed good. She lives. About hydrolocking your motor. It's not fun. This has been awful. But on the plus side, on the plus side, I do know a little bit what you gotta do if you hydrolock your engine. Plan on water being everywhere. Everywhere. I was up to here from water. Come across there, come across this fill. It sucks. So like I said, what we had to do, first thing we did, we took the plugs out, cycled the engine over, and then we changed the oil in it. And then it still wouldn't turn over with the plugs in. It was like too much compression. So there was obviously water somewhere. we had to take the muffler off. It's clear full of water. So I popped the fuel line off the injector back here and run it into a glass. And it was like, look at all the water on the bottom. You can't see now, really, but it's so discolored. That's the gas that come out of it. So I went and bought me, I was like, it looks like it's going to be a nightmare to get the tank out. So much stuff you got to rip apart to get the tank out. So instead of doing that, I went and bought me one of these kerosene pumps for a kerosene heater from Walmart for 10 bucks. Stuck that in there, pumped all the gas out, put fresh gas in, high test with a little bit of stable in it. Still wouldn't start. Still had to cycle the key a bunch with the plugs out, blow all the water out of the fuel lines, I guess. And then I shot a little ether into the cylinders. And now it's been sitting here running for 4 minutes. It's a awful process, ripping it apart, but it's all part of playing the game, my friend. And now it's sitting here running. Like I said, now we're going to go back to the original plan. We're going to run it, let it get up to temp good, dry everything out as best we can, change the oil, change the filter, and then I'll probably run and change the oil again and filter. Right now it's just got junk, like cheap oil, and I'll fill it up again probably with cheap oil, and then I'll run AMSOIL when I'm done. So I'll change the oil after an hour, and then I'll change it probably miles, and then after that I'll probably change it. I don't know. Probably do it again, honestly, at around 100 miles just to be sure it's all out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It runs now. Huge relief that it started, thankfully. And we can ride again. It was just a good day, man. I was just feeling the vibe. Climbed that waterfall. I did a couple other cool climbs. Had my little girl with me. She was loving it. She always does. But it was just good times. And then sent her a little too far, old buddy. It happens. But I definitely learned some things. We're going to be building this. So if you're not subscribed, now's a good time to subscribe. It's going to get going from here. We got bigger tires coming, lift coming, doors, lights, all the fun stuff. Just get it all prepped up. Hopefully we'll get Rush this year too. So. But that's my little how-to cure hydrolock. Maybe. I think I got lucky. I think you can really be screwed doing what I did. I think I got lucky. I had to shut it off as soon, like right as soon as it shut off. It was a little quicker than me, but we didn't try to start it. We just dragged it home. And like I said, we just started chasing the issue. And I just assumed water is in everything. Gas, bottoming, exhaust, everything. Full of water. There's probably still potable water in it. That's it. So we're good to go now. Cfmoto still lives. The razor eater. Come prove me wrong. On to the next hole, buddy. See you guys on the trail.